Howdy, everybody. Welcome back to City Skylines. This is my beautiful city of Blackwoods as we overlook the forestry industry. Oh, I made this a long time ago. Look at that. Still kind of cool. So yeah, that's the origins of Blackwoods. Came out of the forestry industry. Then the farming came along. It's kind of cool as well. Oh man, the nostalgia trip looking back on that, and that's how the city grew up. So there you go. So let's have a quicker check on what we got done last week. Last week we were over here, started off here. Now this was to try and increase my population because I'm into here. I'm trying to get the airport. That's my next unlock, and I was originally on 42,000, but I've now managed to get it up to an extra 2,000 or so. So we're still a ways in there, just under halfway of getting there. So that was the idea behind this. A few office buildings, a couple of commercial, but it's mainly high residential. There you go. So that was kind of that. That was a premise to what I was really going to do, and that was to build what is my biggest challenge to date, which is this. There you go. It's kind of cool. Now this is the Cathedral of Plenitude. So there you go. Now, as I noted last week, without realizing, this runs all the way up here in a long straight line. It's kind of really cool. I didn't realize. I mean, I always intended to have this, and then it just kind of progressed from there. Started off here, of course, and it ended up going into one big long line. So there you go. It was kind of weird how it happened like that, but you know, happy accidents, as Bob Ross would always say. So there you go. So now let's get down to this. Why is this part 2? This is part 2 for one reason alone, and here's the secret behind the making of this. I recorded so much footage, and I got about 3/4 way of editing, and I thought to myself, I'm editing so much out of this, taking out so much of this. There's going to be nothing left for you guys to see. So I kind of kept about 3/4 of it, and the last quarter of my episode was me kind of doing this, finishing this off, detailing and all that, and adding around here. So what I'm going to do, you can see this is now kind of today. This is not last week or the week before, however long it took me to make this whole episode. So this is me from the future, or in the present day, or from the past, depending on when you watch this video. So that's me doing the voiceover intro for this. And then what I'll do, I'll cut back into me finishing this off, and then what I'll do is I'll cut into me adding on to the episode. So it really is, it's still part 2 of my biggest ever challenge, because to be honest, I never really finished what I was going to do as part of my challenge. So it really is part 2. It's just stretched over a couple of days, well, a week and also. So there you go, everybody. So let's get on to it, I guess, and see where we go from here. Right, so that's very interesting. I'm starting to get abandoned buildings. I'll have to play whack-a-mole with them another time. But in the meantime, get rid of them and hopefully something else goes back. It doesn't look like that. What is that? Weird. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I ain't never seen that before. Or have I? Nope. First time I've seen that. That's kind of weird. Yeah, see, got all these buildings are getting abandoned. The reason is not enough buyers for products. Now that means I've got too much. We're producing too many industrial goods, and we got enough people to buy them. As you can see here, my demand for industry is still pretty up there. So I guess this meter is not is a bit of a fake meter, I guess. So it's saying I need more industry, but I got too much industry because it's producing too many goods, I guess. So looking on the policies, is there anything here that can help out? Taxation, city planning, Small business enthusiast. Not seeing anything here. What's that? Here we go. Perks for small business, low density commercial buildings double their sales. So one of the best ways to do this, large, okay, commercial. One of the ways to increase this is to make sure you got your roads are not blocked. And also make sure you got enough commercial to meet the demand. And as you can see, I got no commercial here. And as you can see, I got a demand for commercial, so I need to build more commercial buildings. That's the problem. So we're gonna do a bit of shifting around. Let's put you in there for now. They were happy about that for some reason. Let's put a road in here. We're gonna go for this one here. And all we're gonna do is we're just gonna, without much thought or care and consideration, we're just going to put in some commercial buildings. So the extra commercial for the now. This is kind of a janky, yeah, I don't mind this road. So do a bit of road deleting, don't need any of these. Why are all these trucks going? Oh yeah, they're delivering to the new commercial. They just swamp into all at the same time. That's kind of normal. So let's go for changing up of the roads. There we go. That's going to help the industry only a little bit. You see that one of the buildings just leveled up already. So that's kind of a small little way of doing it. Make sure you got enough commercial buildings to satisfy, because this is where they send their goods to. The commercial zones are the buyers for these goods here. Also make sure your roads are not blocked, so they got easy access to commercial. And at the early stage of this game, where I haven't got a lot of DLC, they won't be exporting a lot of goods, that kind of thing. Because I don't think the game was designed that way at the beginning. So there we go. So that's a way of getting around that. I'll have to look into that closely later on. So getting back to here, yeah, I noticed here. Look, I completely forgot. You can change around the trees on here. See that? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for a tree that I like to put here. And I'll give them a change up. Kind of interesting. Nope. No. I want something kind of exotic. Just like that. Nice and exotic. No. Large shrub. Okay, is this part of the update as well? Okay. I'm thinking maybe the Corsican pine or Chinese windmill. I'm thinking we go with the Chinese windmill. What do you reckon? We're going to go with that. Chinese windmill, all these here. There we go. So that's my final tree design here. So let's see. I'm going to see if I can hook this up with power. So the best way to do this, now this is going to be kind of a giant, I don't know. Yeah, I think this is going to be kind of a place of beauty and gardens. That's what I believe. So let's go into our parks. So any plazas that would fit in here? I think I'm going to go with these ones here. Just for now, until I work something out. Let's go back to the parks now. Let's see what we got here. We got, yeah, none of them. Let's go back in here. Now, I like the idea of having these kind of, gardens everywhere. I like the idea of that. So this could be a way of, introducing, power. You know what? I am not sure. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a play around with this. I'm going to make this my final time lapse, and we'll call that the end of the episode. So here we go. Right, everybody, I think I am about done. I think I am. There we go. Just a few little touches only I can appreciate, because I'll probably be the only one that can ever see these, but there you go. So yeah, here we go. I finally got it all done. So this is my... What is this called anyway, by the way? This is the Cathedral of Plenitude. Well, they got plenty of land. So there you go. This is, yeah, this is my most impressive, build so far. Look at that. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Yeah, I thought I'd taken on more than I could chew on this one, but look at that. I'm pretty pleased with that. Now, I've got future plans for around here. It's kind of ignited a kind of a fire in me to like do something else, I think. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I like this. There you go. So why did we get done today? Today really didn't have much to do because that was so time consuming. What I did is yeah, so had a bit of issues with the not selling enough goods, so I started pressing the escape button just like that. You can see there, no, not enough goods, so I'm going to have to start putting out more commercial. And that'll remedy all this situation here, so that's not a problem. I've started building up some more commercial around here. Fitted in this extra kind of residential area here, just trying to bring up my numbers. Kind of still stagnated, but we can work on that later on. Now this is going to be a lot of commercial, so they'll be fine later on. And then we built this... Yeah, this is definitely my biggest challenge right now. And it was to come up with something. But my initial plan was to see, could I build these kind of key walls on a hill, that kind of thing. And there you go. I've kind of pressed this button here. There we go. And I've kind of achieved it. Now, I got slim pickings when it comes down to what assets and things I can use. So I kind of did a lot of parks like this. And here, these gardens here. Put a road here just to turn them around so they're facing this way here. Tried to cover up as much as these key walls as I can with trees. I kind of, it's like the, like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, isn't it? So there you go. That's pretty much what I got done. Did a lot of detailing, which is just throwing in some trees and bushes, because that's all you can do here. So that's what it looks like from this side here. These are my favorite trees for covering up those ugly edges, as you can see there. So there you go. That's all she wrote about, I guess. My word, that is super busy. Hopefully that'll calm down when I start putting up retractions here, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. But this, I might look into this later on down the line. Maybe do a couple of traffic fixes, that kind of thing. Seems to be a lot of buses. I need to work on these roads here. For some reason, these roads are kind of... Well, cars will not go across here. They're waiting here instead of going across here. Maybe it's because this road here, is it? Something I can do about that. I don't know. Let's go into my bus roads here. So we got 4-lane with... Yeah, that's that one. That's not good, is it? Maybe a 6-lane is the way to go. That might be the way. There we go. Hopefully that saved it. So let's have a look. This is kind of busy. You can see there's a lot of people moving in from the coming in via the trains. Now I think these might be tourists. Look at all them. Are they tourists all? They could be tourists. Just like a problem when you put in nothing but unique buildings, things like that. But I don't mind this. Also I'm going to put in an extra interlocking road here to give it some more. Yeah, let's do that right now. Give them more haven't used to get in there. Something like that. Just for now, basic. And then I'll put in more rows and things like that to tidy that up. So I'm hoping this has kind of sorted this out. Yeah, there you go. That's what I needed, extra rows, so they're going across here. Now, that means there's a stoplight there. So let's kind of get rid of those stoplights. There it is. I knew it'd be there. And there we go. There we go. That's the quickest traffic fix I've ever done, but it's worked straight away. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. We might have to realign these buses or change them, because look at that. There's a lot of people there. Didn't even scratch the surface, did it? Right, so I think this is almost the end of part 2. Yeah. Oh, this is pretty vibrant. Look at that. Kind of cool. Gotta clear up later on, like I said. Managed to clear these up. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, just to round it off. I want to finish off this section right here, which has got a lot of traffic. I need to fix that. And the reason behind that is because this road is not connected here. I'm going to move these around. I'm going to add a strip of land here, do a little bit of changing around, that kind of thing. Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to work on this for now. We're going to call this the end of part 2. So let's move on to this road here. Make sure I got the right one on. Kind of works there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hook this road in here. As you can see, that's a 4-laner with a green strip, but we're going to cut it down to size. We're going to carry on with this same aesthetic. There we go. It kind of looks like that. Yeah, I want to fill this in with a bit more commercial. Maybe have a commercial strip here. I like the idea of that. There we go, that's a commercial strip. And we put some more residential in here. We might do a bit of shifting on the school, that kind of thing. We really want to have that tennis court there. I don't know if it'll go there. We can try and move it in. It's this one here, isn't it? Let's see if I can... There we go. That switches it over. That's fine. Hopefully that doesn't destroy the buildings here. Now, can I get it in now? Nope, still doesn't fit. Oh, all that for nothing. Kind of like the idea of having it here. Put it that, kind of that angle. This angle here. Kind of like having it in here. This kind of angle here. Now, that's going to be interesting. A way to do that, let me have a blank.
Hello again from the class.
I'll delete this road here and this one. So I wanted this angle here. But I want to kind of closer there, so a bit of road manipulation, I believe, is in order. I want that at that angle there. So I need to bring this kind of... I need to bring this to this square here. Yeah, I need this one square over, I believe. I need to measure that out. So I kind of want it in here. Delete that like that. Then I'll carry that on down there. Delete that. That kind of gives me the angle I want. So it's originally here. Here, but I want it 1 over, so that about there. What we'll do, so kind of there, but I wanted that angle. Bit more deleting. This road here. That's a marker to show me where it is originally. There you go, just about works. trying to get this to connect to a road somewhere without building in another road, that kind of thing. So yeah, that fits in really well. So that's a way of doing that. It's a bit fiddly. I could have probably done it a lot easier, but I'm kind of doing it off the top of my head without thinking about it too much, as you can probably notice. So there you go. That is how get that road hack working. Now I'll put that on freeform, I guess. Connect that in there. Now I got to connect this back in with the main road here to stop all this kind of build up of buses and all that. So delete that and just bring it back in. On straight. There we go. There we go. So that's remedied right now. Yep, happy with that. So that's my way of marking out my school ground, so I know never to build anything on this path here, that kind of thing. All right, so put in an extra couple of streets. Click on the right one. I'm gonna go for this tiny little one here. So this is my commercial strip, and this is gonna be more residential. Finally get to play around with the toggle zoning. So what we're gonna do, going back on here. This road here. Now, can I change this around? Cannot upgrade. Okay, change it and change it back. Okay, interesting. That might be the one. Here we go. Try that. Yeah, it's kind of a bit tricky for me to look at that because I'm only using a small monitor. So this section here, change this again. There we go. We're taking away the zoning. That's what I wanted. That's perfect. That's it. And that means I can maximize on my zoning here. There we go. Got it working. Or isn't the game a lot harder without node controller? Oh, this one. Oh yeah, I forgot I'd taken off the taken off the zoning. Let me put the zoning back on. Is that the one? I'm not too sure. I can't see. Try that again. Oh, I can upgrade it with zoning back on. That's pretty cool. I like that idea. I'm still not convinced about if I want to have buildings here. Not convinced about that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm kind of happy with that. Let's get back on the zoning. There we go, like that. Yeah, kind of like that. It's pretty cool. I should maximize my zoning. So what we do is we're gonna just zone it all out right now. Now we got a school. We got a small school. Probably somewheres. They could go to school down here. They're fine for schools. So we're kind of fine with zoning and all that and police and that. See, got lots of medical attention. That's no problem. Fire is okay. The police is, yeah, that's absolutely fine. Nothing wrong there. They got all the education needs, really. So, yeah, I'm okay with that. So let's just fill that all in and we'll call that quits. Now, as I said, we're going down in size now. So we're just going to be kind of small neighborhoods. And there you go. That's completed. Hook those pipes in there. There you go. So yeah, that's the end of my kind of part 2, I guess. Yeah, I think we just end up with a bit of detailing. I think I got so much detail around here I have missed out on, but I'll catch up with that some other time. Definitely want to detail this little area here. So this is going to be my final time lapse. So let's get on with that. There we go. A little more detailing for everybody. So you got rewarded with 2 detailing sessions, I guess, on this last, well, it's not the last part, but part 2 of what has been my most ambitious build. So let's have a check to see what we got done today as I wrap it all up. Put in some extra residential and some commercial, as you can see here, and I've detailed all of this. Kind of looks like that. Like I said, this is trying out to be school grounds, and I kind of done that. Did the kind of road hack here. Did my kind of usual trick of blending in some buildings to make it like maybe a sports shed or something like that kind of thing. So there you go. Bit more detailing around here. So this area is now complete. Don't have to worry about this area ever again. Extended this kind of park here. Give it some more flavor, that kind of thing. And kind of did similar thing here. Kind of tidied this area up here. Bit more residential. Cognizant of the fact I know that the buildings are going to get smaller as they go further out. Is that going to be? Was it going to be a house? Okay. And last but not least, final part of part 2 was I got rid of this road right here, just like that. There we go. Oh no, seriously, over here, put in this connecting road here. By no means is this complete yet. Yeah, so the other part was a huge detailing I did. There you go. Kind of looks like that. I wanted this to be kind of like just full of tranquil gardens, but it's like I said once before, it's slim pickings when you've only got a few assets and crops and things like that. So there you go. Kind of looks like that. Kind of little different twist on things at the back here. Covered it in trees and things like that, trying to hide the ugly walls, which I don't think that these key walls are that ugly, to be honest. There we go. I've kind of taken quite a few screenshots to see which one I can use as my thumbnail, that kind of thing. This is what it looks like from above, in case you wanted to know. It's kind of like that. Kind of cool. Wish I could get rid of the smog and all that, but not gonna work. Not in this game. So there you go. I'm kind of pleased with this. Now this, believe it or not, this is part 2. Now there's part 3 of my most ambitious build. And part 3 hasn't even been started yet, so don't worry about that. That is not a part I've already done. I'm just about to finish it all off. So it's going to be the trilogy, I guess, of my most ambitious build ever. So yeah, so get yourselves ready for that one. It's going to be a bit of a change, but it's all to do with this. All part of my big idea. So there you go. So that being said, everybody, congratulations on making it through this far. But in the meantime, everybody, sincerely, look after each other. Have a really nice day, and I will see y'all